Hello, fellow fools, and welcome to your year ahead reading. We are joined today with our special guest, Mia. Hi, Mia. Thank you so much for being here today. So this is December 31st, 2025. At the time of recording this, but this is a timeless reading, so you will be able to get messages about this whenever you are watching. So how we're going to do it is we're going to do it by seasons. Mia's going to pick a card from the Oracle deck here. It is the Love Oracle. And then I will choose an accompanying tarot card. This is the Apparition Tarot. And we'll also be choosing a good luck charm for each season. So additionally, how this is going to work, so whatever season you're in now is going to be season 1. So we are in winter right now. So if you're watching this in winter, that would be season number 1. Season number 2 would then be spring. Season number 3 would be summer. Season number 4 would be fall. And just, again, make sure that you just select season number 1 for whatever season you're in right now. And that will be the reading for you for this year ahead. So without further ado, I just wanted to make a quick little cheers to you, Mia.
Oh.
We have this non-alcoholic seltzer here.
Cider,
Yes, that Mia brought us today to just celebrate the end of the year and bring in a brand new, more exciting year.
Aw,
so
cheers
to you. Cheers to you, fellow fools. Maybe you can have a little sip at home. Delicious. So without further ado, I say we get started. I have like 3 cups. I have so many cups. But do you want to draw your 4 cards? Should we just draw 4 of them at the same time?
Sure, yeah. I'm thinking...
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, is that for season number 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, season number 1 has been selected for Mia. I need to get on the right boat here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quick.
Nice. I'm like, they are flipping over all crazy over here. I love this deck. Thank you. This is one of Bren's decks that I'm borrowing today.
Yeah, it speaks to Mia, so.
I'm a lover. I love love.
Mm-hmm. And we're recording this on Wednesday, and Wednesday is Mercury's day, and Mia on the way over here was really... Yeah, would you like to share about Hermes just really quick?
Okay, I've been thinking a lot about spirit teams and different guides working together to help with the same goal, essentially. And Archangel Michael has been floating around me because of Bren, and it has just been a really big theme in my life. And Michael is the angel of protection, especially of travelers. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these different gods, and they all have their own different roles. We all have like the same purpose for all these different angels and spirits, but they all do the same thing. So of course it would work together if you end up like, I don't know, depending on your culture and like where you come in and your exposure. And I just felt like, oh, I wonder if Bren works with Hermes, because Bren loves Michael so much.
I do.
And then I was like, Hermes loves Bren.
Mm-hmm. Hermes does love Bren. Well, and we're recording this video on my phone, which is named Hermes, so that is really cool too.
And today, the astrology of the day, Mercury is square Saturn today. So it's just a really interesting energy.
Mercury being in Sagittarius, it's almost exiting. Goddamn, it's been in Sagittarius for such a long time. I'm really excited for Mercury to enter Capricorn tomorrow. But yes, it's squaring Saturn in Pisces, which has also been coming to an end of its cycle in Pisces. So that end degree squaring energy definitely, Mercury being like the communication planet and Saturn being the structured planet, like maybe some tension points within those 2 things. And, we're talking about this at the beginning of this year ahead reading. So this could also be relevant to us for this year ahead too. Just like, hey, how is it challenging sometimes to say the hard things that we need to say, but also use that to build structure. And actually it's not about the tear, it's about the repair in relationships. So just keeping in mind that whatever conflicts might be coming up or challenges, it can actually be, a tool to become stronger.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's such a great interpretation to look at what's happening in the sky and how it can relate to you big picture, but also just day to day.
Well, and Mercury Sagittarius, that's a fire sign, right? So like very, very fiery, and then it's squaring that Pisces energy, Pisces Saturn, which is water. So when we think about fire and water also together, like water being kind of emotions, fire being passions and things like that, like they can fuel each other. They definitely can. Like boiling water, it can be a healing agent, but also the water can dampen the fire and be a buzzkill sometimes for that fire. So maybe that's also a balance that we're being invited into, especially with this mutability. It seems like at least 2025, again, you can be listening to this at any time, but this past year has been a lot about challenging situations. It was the year of the snake. So it's the fire snake?
No, I can't remember the element. Yeah,
I think it was the wood snake. We're going into the fire horse. But it's just been a lot of shedding and a lot of shadow work and realities coming in and just change. And it's like, are you going to swim or sink? It's up to you. And I definitely feel like you and I have been swimming.
Yeah. Well, even when you were saying like the water can fuel the fire, I was imagining like a grease fire. Like when you pour water on a grease fire, it does help it grow. So like you just definitely have to know like what is in that pot before you add to it, and recognizing that discipline. Maybe you don't want to add water, but also maybe you just need to put it in a vessel before you do.
Give it some structure. Definitely. Well, now I'm just thinking about all the numerology and all the things, but I do want to say that the year ahead, 2026 is a Wheel of Fortune year. And so that's all about like, is it fate or is it free will? So it's just like, how are you going to also roll with the punches, be mutable and like flow with what spirit is giving you, what the universe is giving you, and also using your free will where you can to then guide. It's a co-creation, right? So
for sure, co-creation. Yeah.
And the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, and like that's usually good luck. So hopefully this year ahead will offer us some good luck if we can see it that way. It's all about the perspective. So
I love that. Without further ado, I want to know, should we
Here, I'll put the crystals out
I
of the way.
want to start with the tarot, actually.
Okay, so this is one. Okay, so for the season that we're in right now, we have the Three of Wands reversed. The Three of Wands reversed. And whenever I see Three of Wands, I really love this imagery too, because it's like a candle lighting a bunch of other candles. So once you have one candle lit, you can light a bunch. It's kind of like a domino effect, because not only can you light someone else's candle, but whoever else's candle you've lit, they can also light other candles, which is really beautiful, and I'm getting chills. So I feel like this time, whatever season number 1, the focus is about committing to whatever decision that you've made and going with it, and having other people like feed the momentum too, like lean on your community members. And if something's not working, if other people are like not into it, maybe that's the redirection that you need to be like, cool, they don't want my flame, I'm going to give my flame to someone else who does. I'm feeling a lot of that energy. What are you seem like you want to say something.
I love that. I love the collaboration in that. We were just saying that. Oh, co-collaboration. That reverse, I do feel, is significant in that internal of like share your light with others. If you are always holding yourself back, no one's ever going to be able to shine with you. The card that I got from the Lovers deck is 33.
33, expansion number.
Yep, and it's titled Vanity. And the imagery is like this like Renaissance woman, and she has this beautiful like white puffy hair, and on her hair is a nest of birds. So I feel like this is kind of highlighting, recognize how far you've come from, like no matter what season you're in, you've been through the motions, you've had a journey thus far. Recognize how far you've come, recognize like the work that you've put in. Like you have eggs right there, like things are ready to be hatched. You just have to sit on it and really water those seeds, and also just appreciate and recognize like the blessings that you do have. Vanity, it's all about your perspective. And people, even if you're not traditionally attractive, even just having that inner confidence is so sexy.
Mm-hmm.
So fake it till you make it in that vanity area if you don't have vanity for yourself. I think it's always good to just think you're, you know, the hot shit a little bit.
Glam magic,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm a big believer in it. So like I like to spray my face with rose water, and one of the affirmations that I tell myself that you just reminded me of is I'm attractive no matter what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to worry about even if there's spinach in my teeth, whatever. It's like I'm attractive still, like, you know, and I'm attracting what is meant for me and I'm repelling the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said too about vanity too. And I'm gonna like
Yeah.
put these cards up closer so y'all can really take a nice look at the imagery here. But there's threes on both of them.
Yeah.
It's 33 and 3. And 333 to me symbolizes power as well. So I think this is also about like really saying that like getting really clear with your true values, because vanity implies that like, you know, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing to look nice or want to look nice. It's just like if you're obsessive about it or you put all of your worth or all of your eggs in that basket, that's when things can become an issue. So this is really about getting clear with your values, so then you can use that as empowerment rather than feeling bad or whatever about being confident.
I love that. Thank you for that. That's so cool.
That's so pretty.
Yeah.
I love that card. It is a really beautiful one.
Yeah, I think it's common like perception to associate a negative connotation with vanity.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that. Like, what do you really value? What are you putting, like, investing in that area, right? If you value looking a certain way, okay, then you're going to invest your time in, you know, doing certain hobbies or, you know, waking up extra early to get ready before work. But your value, no matter what you look like, is you value. You know, you have that.
It's the way you feel, not the way you look.
Yeah, thank you. You have value no matter what you look like.
Yes. And if you can do something to enhance the way you look so you feel better, that's more important than actually looking better.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's also just like a general thing too. I don't think it's actually always so literal either. It can be your literal appearance, but maybe also like your personality at work, or how these different hats that you wear in these different situations too. It's like, are you showing up authentically? Because sometimes we feel more confident at home than we do at work or whatever, or vice versa. So when you're in different environments, I want you to say, I feel like you have something to say with that. You're feeling it. You're feeling it.
Wear those hats. Put on, you know, you don't feel confident at work, but you feel confident when you're in the gym. Put on that gym hat.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
And remember, like, you are that version of you no matter what room you're in.
I'm feeling a lot of Leo energy with that. That's great. So that's season 1.
That's
season
where we are.
1. This is the energy that we are tapping into now. Okay, season 2. You want me to? Okay. We've got another 3. We've got 3 of Pentacles reversed. I'll bring that up to you so you can see. 3 of Pentacles. So this is season 2. This is a beautiful card. It's like very symmetrical, balanced. 3 of Pentacles symbolizes, oh, and there's our angel, maybe Archangel Michael. He's like my favorite angel. I mean, everyone will tell you. But I see a lot of like harmony here. And whenever I see a 3 of Pentacles reversed, I really see that as like a collaboration within the self, because we're all hypocrites. We all have some sort of desire that opposes another desire that we have, like saving versus spending, for example. And so this is a calling to us to really find that equilibrium within ourselves about how we can collaborate with the parts of ourselves that maybe we don't even like. You know, sometimes we see a shadow of ourselves and we just want to be different, or like, oh, I'm an Aries rising and I'm just so fiery and I just don't like that. I take up so much space sometimes, or whatever it is. It's like, how can you actually maybe use that as like a strength and be like, wow, I'm noticing that I have a gift of taking up space and like being expressive. Like, how can I use that to enhance the greater good? And so I don't have to feel so guilty about this thing that I have.
Mm-hmm. I love that, recognizing those other parts of yourself that you need to integrate more fully to be your best version of yourself and to give you the most prosperity.
What did you get for this one?
For this season, the next season coming up, I got number 1, responsibility.
Ooh. I'm gonna show the class this card.
It's
and it was upright.
It was upright. It's like a beautiful little bird in a cornucopia, and there's like this little bug flying around, and he's looking at it. So that's really interesting to me. It reminds me of that saying, early bird gets the worm, but he has something in his mouth already. It looks like a pearl. And
Yes.
it's like valuable too in its own right, but I do feel that is, especially like leaning with like your own card of the 3 of Pentacles in reverse, of like you have that responsibility for yourself of deciding what is important to go after. And like you have a beautiful nest of, you know, fruit and pearls, and it's like that's great, but I think that there's a responsibility to yourself in this next season to really chase what you desire for your survival.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I just don't think that it's good to have nice things, right? It's good to be like, oh, look at all my shiny stuff. I'm beautiful. I have these great lavish items. But if you really can't sustain your survival needs, I don't really know what that could be. I'm feeling it's more of like inner work of like I need to culminate my own
like inner foundation. Because with this cornucopia, it looks like a ammonite, which is ancestral. Exactly. Which is the foundation that we're built on. You know, in astrology, that's our 4th house. That's our home. That's our base. That's our roots. So I do feel like there is a responsibility to also honor our ancestors, because a lot of times we are living the dreams of our ancestors. And so when we aren't grateful for things like running water or things that we take for granted, that's when things, I feel like, might, just not be as good or feel as powerful. It's just not a very empowering place to be.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that perspective. It's not empowering to go and like hunt for those things that like we innately just receive. I love that you brought up foundations and ancestry, because 1 + 3 is 4.
Oh yeah. That 4th house. So maybe home in this season 2 will be like building, like what does it mean to be at home in yourself and your values, and also be at home with like your physical resources and your ancestry, or if you don't identify with like having a strong tie to your ancestry, like your chosen family, or
creating your own,
or even like as a queer person, for example, as queer people, like we have ancestors that are just queer. They're not blood related, but because they share this identity that we do, they are our ancestors. So I really do, and I'm getting a lot of chills right now. So I would say that this group really is wanting to like your spirit guides are asking you to also explore what kind of leaders are in the spirit realm, like working without you even knowing sometimes. Especially because like Hermes came up at the beginning, so Hermes might be around you, and so is Archangel Michael, and you can call upon them anytime to protect you during travel if you are traveling, or just in your day-to-day and needing a little bit of extra protection.
I love that,
because this is very physical, but I am feeling that spiritual levity too. And the egg, there's like this huge egg here, and there's like 3 eggs here in the birds, and this deck doesn't have all birds. Like that's not this deck. So I just find it interesting that that symbolism's coming up twice. So this season and next season, birds, what's that?
They're linked.
They are linked. And that makes sense. I mean, they're connected. But birds symbolizing freedom. So how can we also liberate ourselves with new ideas? That egg, like what is the potential that's going to hatch? Because these potentials are still potentials. I don't see any hatching happening in season 1 or season 2.
Yeah, it's still like fostering, working,
building integration. And I really like that you said that at the beginning. I think it's internal integration is the main thing going on here.
Yeah.
Did you want to move on to season 3?
I do.
All right, season 3, we have another reversal.
That is so funny. All of yours are reversed, and none of mine are.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So I do see that as like an internal and then an external. So that's great. We have the 4 of Cups reversed here. 4 of Cups, this imagery is kind of interesting because I see it as kind of, this looks like a 5 of Cups to me.
Oh,
Doesn't it
yeah.
kind of look like that? But
Yeah.
I know, right? But Four of Cups is all about like an emotional decision that needs to be made, and like, is this like, you only have so much emotional capacity for things. So if you're being invited to tether your emotions to something, whether that's like a new person or a new project or something, a new work thing, it's really up to you to decide, like, is this going to offer me more? Because there's like the energy of butterflies coming out. So this opportunity could really be super fulfilling. But it's up to you to really decide, is this opportunity what it actually is? Or is it going to drain me over time? And am I going to just be holding too many cups? Like you saw me at the beginning of this video, I have 3 cups around me, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even have a place for all of these beverages that I have. So that's kind of like the metaphor of season 3 is getting clear with yourself with what's rejuvenating you and what's draining you.
I love that. That's such a good interpretation.
And that's also an internal, because it's reversed, like an internal process.
Yeah. Fulfillment waiting to be acknowledged.
Excuse me.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah, fulfillment waiting to be acknowledged.
Maybe that's the confirmation.
I felt that.
Because so maybe there are things around you, kind of like we were learning in season 2, like ancestors, you're not even grateful for certain things. It's like maybe you should pay attention to what actually is filling your cup that you might not even be noticing.
And you bringing up season 2, I'm sorry to take a step back, and like, but also I feel it's also like we are the first people in our generation being able to live like this in our ancestry. I'm sure none of my female ancestors were ever able to live alone. So
well, we were talking about that before this video with your mom, and I hope it's okay that I mentioned this, but like how, you know, we have compassion for our parents for making certain decisions because of the time that they grew up in as well, and the expectation, like, okay, you get partnered up and you have a man support you if you're, you know, female, and you have kids, you know, but then you can get trapped in that cycle. And so honoring the decisions that our ancestors also have made because of the reality that they were in, and having some more compassion for them. Less resentment.
And learning from our ancestors, and honoring them by making decisions that they never had the choices to make. That brings us to season 3 of the Love Oracle deck. I got the card number 40. So 4 cups, 40. Movement. It's this beautiful like train going up a mountain. It's kind of relating to like what we were talking about with the 4 of Cups, of that inner acknowledgement of something else that you can pour into that's not going to weigh you down. I see a train going into this visuals like shoulder, traveling up its head. That to me is like spiritual connection. There's an elephant on the head. There's like this horse running towards her. There's a sailboat. There's hot air balloons. There's so much happening in season 3. Physically, I think this is like, oh my gosh, our plate is full. Go, go, go. You know, like there's gonna be fire with the horse. There's gonna be water with the sailboat. There's gonna be passion, feelings, connection to spirit, and also like just things that we really need to fuel.
Well, and where you spend your energy is what you become, and like what ends up coming to fruition. So if you're worrying all the time, you know, more problems might arise. Whereas if you take whatever challenges you have with confidence and the perspective of this must be for my highest good somehow, it's more likely to fuel you. Like you were saying, I really like the fuel. Well, and like, do you remember when we pulled this card, when we first got this deck last month actually, this was one of the first cards that we pulled in relation to
a person
in my life. And you really liked that card.
I did like that card, and I was drawn to it, and I thought that it was about someone else even. So
well, you thought it was you. You were like, I want this to be, because I pulled 3 cards. I was like, okay, you're one of them. And so you wanted that to be your energy.
And I was strategy? No.
Yeah, I think maybe.
I think I was strategy.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a beautiful card. It's significant. It's that 4, so also like foundations and structure. Yeah, if you're gonna pour in to an aspect of your life, make sure that it's aligned with what brings you emotional fulfillment. Because if it doesn't fulfill you emotionally, you're gonna burn out. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of air for the movement card, and then the 4 of Cups is water, so that's going to be the emotions with the thought space. So really trusting how you feel about things to inform the logic of things, and vice versa, because if you're overthinking things without acknowledging the emotions that you feel about it, you're not actually using an intelligence that you have to make the best decision possible. You can't separate logic from your emotions a lot of the time. At least for season 3, it seems like it'll be important to integrate both of those things and respect them both equally.
Well, and don't be afraid to let yourself feel those emotions. You can get sucked in, but don't get lost. Pull yourself out. There's like a technique in therapy that they say, like, it's good for you to put yourself in those spaces and then walk yourself out. I can't remember what it's called. But it's to train your brain that you can go there, and that's also not where you need to live. And like then you can regulate and start thinking logically.
I love that.
Yeah. So it's a good way to honor that side of you. If you are an overthinker, I know I am.
I mean, yeah, I feel that. I feel that for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's season 3.
I love that. I'm excited for season 3.
I think they're all great, honestly. There's a lot of reflection, and then there's a lot of like, I really like the reversals mirroring the uprights, because it's just internal. Whatever work you're doing internally, it's going to be seen externally. So if you're really working on your confidence, you're going to get that raise or whatever because people see you. Even if you don't always feel like that on the outside, fake it till you make it. Isn't that what you had said earlier? Yeah.
Yeah, confidence. We're all faking it. None of us are really confident. But
well, maybe. But, yeah.
Aries.
Well,
Aries.
I mean, I wasn't even talking about myself.
Oh, really?
There are just some people who seem to not have any shame. But
right, we're not talking about that.
Okay.
There are some people who you just think like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. You're always this. You're always on it, performing. Like, and then you get to know them, and they're like, oh, I'm actually having no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just trying not to be embarrassed. So I just think if you can honor that part of you that wants to shine, don't feel embarrassment for it. You're gonna help others glow in that way too.
Well, and you were kind of like triggering another message coming from this movement card too, with the mind space and like using your mind. Also, just like whatever experiences you're going through for season 3 is going to be an opportunity for you to open your perspectives. This is a very Sagittarian feel, so that's fire as well. So like, where do you want to go? What do you want to explore? And sometimes the exploration is within your own mind. Like, what hat can I try on? Or like, what new perspective can I try on? What new shade of glasses can I try on to just see the world in a little bit different way, to expand my perspective and knowing of what is possible.
I love that. I'm feeling Sagittarius for sure in that, especially with the elephant that is like on the top of their head in this image. That is wisdom. Elephants are so smart. So like, yeah, using that inner wisdom and knowledge with your consciousness and with your emotions to help guide you through this, like, I feel it is like a spiritual evolution or a spiritual transition.
Yeah.
It could be like a new place physically, but yeah.
Cool. Well, with that, we'll move into our last season number 4. We have got another reversal. The High Priestess.
Ooh.
The High Priestess number 2. This has been a very big card for me this year. Another bird, and then we also have a fish. So it seems like the sky and the sea. So it's like you can go as high up as you want. You can also go as deep as you want. So I'm seeing for season 4 is like, that's really about the self-reflection and developing your intuition. That's really what the High Priestess is calling you to understand, and also understand that like whatever is being reflected at you is teaching you something. So say you have a coworker that you really can't stand, and like there's just so many things about this person that you don't like. This High Priestess is asking you, how is this person why is this person showing up in your life, and what are they teaching you, instead of being like, why is this person in my life? I like freaking hate this. It's just like, well, this is a teacher. Everyone around you is a teacher. Some of the worst people can be your best teachers. So what is this saying about you too? And why is it triggering you? And what is it about you that is struggling with this person? It doesn't have to do with them necessarily. Obviously, if you need to speak up or something, go for it. Like, you have to set your boundaries, whatever. But this is really about like inner clarity, with the intuition. Did you have something you wanted to say with that?
I feel like the High Priestess, I get a lot of like duality in that, like you can see both sides. You have walked that path before, and so now you know that there's another way. And it doesn't mean that you're right or evolved. It just means that you know where that path leads, and you could help others, but it's really just like not feeling that judgment of just recognizing like that other side we were talking about earlier with the family, of like, oh yeah, that is not my story, but I understand how that became yours. So I don't know, that one I feel very like hazy.
Well, the High Priestess is kind of like that, because like, even in the imagery here, it's like you're reaching for something you can't see. So you can feel around and be like, okay, this feels like a mirror, or like this feels like XYZ. And then from that feeling, because this is the translator of the feeling to then the action, I feel like, as well, with that candle. But here's another bird. So like, it's also self-liberation through trusting your intuition as well. And like, just knowing that you have gone through things before, and you don't have to like, even if something looks novel or new, you have the experience to back up whatever you need to do to move forward. Like, you can do it even if it seems new and novel. It's like, you've got this. I'm definitely feeling like, trust yourself too over other people, because other people, even if they care about you, they're going to influence your intuition sometimes in ways that aren't actually right. Like, sometimes I'll say something to you, Mia, and you're like, I don't know, my gut's saying this. I'm like, okay, well, it's your decision. You have to do what's right for you. And usually that's the right one. Because, yeah, other people who care about you. I'm really thinking about parents, too, that like, I want you to be a doctor so you can blah, blah, blah. But the kid doesn't even want to be a doctor. They have to follow their own destiny.
Yeah. I love how you also brought up coworkers, too. And like, maybe just, that person you don't see eye to eye with. Because it relates to this love oracle card, we got empathy, number 31.
31, another 4.
Yeah, and it's like this zebra, this woman is holding a zebra, she blends in with it. She's also got a hat on.
We've got some hats. We're going to put on different hats.
Yeah, I do feel that this year. You're going to have to try exploring versions of yourself in places they might not have shown up before. And also, like, for season 4 specifically, feeling that awareness of what other people are going through, and kind of shifting yourself, like putting yourself in their shoes and recognizing that it might not be black and white. And you might have to put on a different hat to recognize that, because like, you might be right, actually. But there's definitely like, what is that, like that diplomacy or that wisdom that comes with knowing not every situation is there going to be like a clear victor. Sometimes it means saying like, okay, I know we can't unhash everything right now. Here's what I need to feel resolution. And might having like to put on a more mature, like spiritual hat to accept that. Because if you are like, oh, well, you did this and this and this and this, you're never going to solve anything. But if you pick one thing, and that's like the principle, then you can help them see your point of view from that one thing without like attacking them.
Ooh.
Yeah. And try to find resolution. But
well, and some people just receive information differently. So how you conflict resolve with a roommate or something might be different than your mom or something. So I like that perspective of. Also, I'm feeling a lot of listening with that. It's like Bailey, my sister, she told me that her word of the year ahead is listening. And that's actually one of the words that I'm going to write down because I think that's a really great one. And I do see like season 4 being like the way that we can be more empathetic with people is really trying to hear them, because sometimes people can't say things that we can hear. So we have to use our intuition and our empathy to try to broaden our perspective, to try to see where they're coming from, even if we don't entirely understand it. It's like, how can you try to meet them as halfway as you can? And some people who are not as evolved or haven't been through as much, you might have to meet them more than halfway because, you know, you have to be the bigger person or whatever. But if you can kind of meet them there, if you guys can make that connection, then you can balance things out once that connection is actually made.
Right. Because it's hard to create more rapport if things are needing repair.
Definitely. So that's really season 4. We also have our good luck chicken. So we have a bunch of good luck charms in here. And we originally were going to pick one for each season, but actually I'm now feeling like you pick one, I pick one, and we'll just have a couple good luck messages for us for this year ahead.
I love that.
So without further ado, feel free to pick a good luck charm, Mia. There's lots of good random stuff in here.
I want something really cool and interesting feeling.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna dig my hand in here too. I want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Ooh, I've got a glass bee, and you've got like a perfume bottle.
Yeah.
Ooh, smell it. What does it smell like? I don't even know what that is.
I was like, what the heck is that?
There's a lot of things in here. I've collected them over the years. I don't know what they all are.
I wonder what it smells like.
Gonna open?
Yeah.
Well, while you do that, I want to talk about this bee really quick here. I'm gonna come closer so you can see what this looks like. This is a glass bee with the cute little head, some wings. And I actually got this from my friend April. She runs a cute shop here in Denver called Bubblegum Consignment. I believe that's what it's called. And she gave this to me, and bees to me symbolize community. It takes a village. You know, you only have to hold the burden of one bee. You know, you don't have to make all the honey in the hive and be the queen bee. You don't have to do it all. Your good luck is going to come from delegating. And with the yellow as well, yellow is all about that solar plexus. So that willpower, like following what you desire, is going to bring you a lot of good luck. And so is with the black, knowing that your community and who you invest in, your relationships in, those are your protectors. You have angels, you have your spirit guides who can protect you, but also in this physical realm, we need to remember those of us who are really showing up for us to have our backs, even if it's like, hey, you would be great at this job, like come apply to this job with me, or whatever it is.
I love that. That's community for sure. And just knowing where to ask for help in your community too goes a long way.
And who to ask what from. I make this, I have to say it because Spirit's telling me to say it for a reason, but I say it a lot where, you know, one friend you might I would ask you for emotional support, right? But I might not ask you to like shovel my snow, you know?
Yeah, I'm not a good friend for that.
Yeah, there's different friends for different things. My friend Chuck, awesome to ask about mechanical, like car stuff. So I'm going to ask him for that, and maybe not something else, you know? Yeah. So just know who to ask what for, and don't expect certain people to do things that's not what they're for.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. I want you to smell this. It's peppermint.
It is peppermint. I know where I got that now.
So to me, peppermint is healing. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory. Peppermint smells nice. Peppermint gets rid of pests. So many uses for it. I'll also show you this little bottle in case that's significant for you. Look at that.
Reminding me of a perfume like the Glam Magic that you were talking about earlier.
I do feel like it's related to this Vanity card earlier too, of like, you don't even recognize how something like a little bit of essential oil in your laundry, that goes a long way. That makes you smell nice. That you don't need to buy these Febreze beads. Don't use those, bro.
Yeah.
Put essential oil on a reusable dryer lint ball, and you don't need to spend excess money in that area. So being resourceful with what you have. And I see that you're doing research, so I'm excited to see what we're researching.
I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying or anything. This is a rulership book, and I just got it in the mail from Thrift Books. Moses had recommended it to me because it has just basically a list of everything and what is it associated with in astrology. So when you were saying peppermint, I wanted to look it up, and I think it peppermint herb, so it's associated with Venus, then Jupiter, then Mars and the Sun. So I mean, like, that's like a lot.
Yeah.
But, Venus being like relationships, finances and resources, things that give you enjoyment, and Jupiter being the expansion and purpose and
I'm feeling Jupiter for sure when it comes to like health wise. And also like Jupiter is like, yes, seen as the planet of luck, but also kind of try to look at it as like the planet of blessings too. And so instead of saying like, oh, I'm just so lucky, no, I'm just so blessed. And like your blessings can come in so many different ways. It could come in an essential oil that you use once a month. You know what I mean? Or you use when you have ants. That's how I got rid of ants a few months ago. Peppermint oil and apple cider vinegar. So yeah, so there's being resourceful and knowing like that your the range of what things are used for can be expanded as long as you look at it with like a optimistic or expansive mindset. Things can go far when you are intentional in stretching them out.
I love that. Well, because you said that, we've been talking so much about perspective. I actually want to read one more thing. I think it's from this book. We're pulling out all the books today, so that's very Sagittarian as well. So just like being open to learn, it seems like it's going to be really great. So I have an allegory that I'd like to read from this book, and it just talks about what fortune is. So here we go. What is fortune? For thousands of years, man has contemplated the question, what is fortune? They have come up with thousands of answers. Amazingly enough, with all of these answers, very few people can actually say that they feel fortunate. There is an ancient Chinese story that speaks of the nature of fortune in an extremely interesting way. Several thousand years ago, China had an extremely cruel and egotistical dictator. He was the individual who ordered the building of the 6,000-mile wall around the country. To understand the flavor of the times, one must know that many people died in the building of that wall and their bodies were buried in it. Now, during this time, there was a very old Chinese man who had only two possessions in the world that he loved, his only son and his only horse. But, as luck would have it, one day the horse ran away. Upon hearing of this, all of the elders of the town came to console him, saying, "How unfortunate it is that your horse has run away." The old man looked at them and replied, "How do you know it's unfortunate?" Several days later, the horse returned, followed by 6 other horses. Thus, the man's wealth was greatly increased. Upon seeing this, the elders of the town came around again and said, "How fortunate it is that you now have 7 horses." The old man thought for a moment. Then he looked at them as before and replied, "How do you know it is fortunate?" That afternoon, the old man's only son decided to try to ride one of the wild horses. He fell and became a cripple as a result. Now the elders gathered around again and said, "How unfortunate it is that your son fell off the horse and cannot walk." The old man answered them in the same way, saying, "How do you know it is unfortunate?" The elders became very puzzled and went away. The following day, the emperor's men came to this very same town. They had orders to enlist all able-bodied young men in the task of building by hand the horrible 6,000-mile wall. Every young man from the town was taken, except the son of the old man. When this occurred, the elders of the town were sure they finally understood the wisdom of the old man. They came up to him again and said, "How fortunate you are that your son was not taken to build the wall." Again, the old man looked at them and said, "How do you know it is fortunate?" By this time, the elders were completely puzzled. They went off by themselves and held counsel with each other. Then they returned to the old man and said, "We have spoke among ourselves and agree that you are the wisest man in all of China. We would consider it to be very fortunate if you would be our town mayor." The old man threw up his hands in despair and said, "How do you know it would be fortunate? I do not want the job." And he walked away. He may very well have been the most fortunate man in all of China, for he knew the secret of fortune.
Ooh.
So
fun. I love an allegory.
Me too. And it's just like, what comes up must come down. It comes back to the Wheel of Fortune thing that we were talking about earlier. It's like, how do you really know? Sometimes, like, I look in retrospect at some of the worst things that happened to me in my life, and I see how many blessings it actually brought me in retrospect. So, not that it makes any of the bad things that happened to me any better, but it does help me have a better perspective when I'm going through a hard time, that it could actually be fortunate.
Yeah.
Fortune in disguise.
Yeah, so I think that's also like a really good thing to apply to the reading today, is if like you're watching this now and like you're listening to some of these messages and you're like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like that's for me, that sounds unfortunate. Come back at the end of the season and recognize like, okay, cool, that actually played out in a completely different way than I thought, and it was very fortunate that it played out this way. Even if I don't see it yet, something is coming next season that's gonna flip the script.
And I'm also thinking of the strength card as you said that too, which is like, you can only build strength through like tearing the muscles. You have to be challenged to build strength. So just know that whatever challenges are coming your way are meant to make you stronger.
Yeah. And only like diamonds can be made by being cold
under
and
pressure.
compressed.
Under pressure.
Yeah, compressed. I love that.
Yeah.
So there's lots of good wisdom and luck in today's reading.
Yeah, thank you all so much for joining us for your year ahead of reading. Again, my name is Bren. I use they, them pronouns.
I'm Mia. I use she, they pronouns.
Yes, and if you would like to book a reading with either of us, please visit fortuneofthefool.com. You can find us there, or on Instagram at fortuneofthefool. And any last words you have to say?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share these words with people. I think that people needed to hear this message today.
Yeah, and just, I have to hype you up because Mia's like one of my most magical friends. She has so much wisdom, so much knowledge, and it really is a privilege for all of us to experience all of the words that you had to share with us today. So thank you so much for the gift of you.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
Yeah. And without further ado, stay foolish, y'all. Bye.